more exciting today, and it's very exciting to be back at the park. Thanks to the life-saving power of vaccinations, it feels once again like summer is in the air. For many people, the protection from COVID-19 is more than enough reason to get vaccinated because it makes living your life and safely visiting places like Six Flags so much safer. And I count myself among those. But I also know that other people might need a little bit more of an incentive. I've already announced other awards for people who get vaccinated, like free targets at Sparta's World Shooting Recreational Complex in Southern Illinois, and free admission to the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum in Springfield. Today, thanks to our incredible partners here at Six Flags Great America, we offer our latest summer fun award for getting vaccinated. The park is dedicating 50,000 free tickets to help encourage vaccinations in the region. That's a $200 value to a family of 5. And that's not all. To make getting vaccinated and getting your ticket as convenient as possible, our National Guard vaccination teams will be setting up shop right here at Six Flags Great America starting the first weekend of June. And if turnout is high, we'll be back for more. We'll also be sending thousands of tickets to local health departments in the Six Flags region to help encourage vaccinations in the ways that best meet the needs of the community. That includes equity mobile initiatives targeting neighborhoods with lower vaccination rates, setting up clinics at schools, and incentivizing full family vaccinations. And to ensure these tickets are reaching kids and their families whose communities have historically seen less investment, we're also partnering with the Michael Reese Health Trust to bring these tickets and these vaccines directly into neighborhoods that need it most, and doing so in a hyper-local, culturally competent way. With the recent announcement that the Pfizer vaccine can be safely given to middle and high schoolers as young as 12 years old, Six Flags' generous commitment couldn't come at a better time for families looking for a fun summer activity. Our fight to stay safe and to protect ourselves isn't over, but with each day and with each dose, we move closer and closer to putting this pandemic to an end for ourselves, for our loved ones, for the world. Already, more than 5.8 million Illinoisans have done their part to get protected. It's not too late to join them. If you're ready to get vaccinated, just go online and visit coronavirus.illinois.gov or call our vaccination hotline at 833-621-1284, or stop by your local pharmacy or your doctor's office, or just come right here to Six Flags Great America the first weekend of June. So thank you, and with that, I'm very proud to hand it over to the man of the hour, a great partner in our quest to vaccinate all of Illinois, Six Flags Great America President Hank Salemi. Hank?
Thank you, Governor Pritzker, Mayor Hood. We're honored to have you both here at Six Flags Great America today. And you know, it is a very unique and unprecedented announcement that we're making today. We've never made this kind of donation of free tickets at our park or in our company. It is a unique and first time ever that we have donated $4 million worth of tickets, 50,000 tickets that can be used at Six Flags Great America, Six Flags Hurricane Harbor Chicago, or Six Flags Hurricane Harbor Rockford. We have a park just down the road that we never want anybody to forget about, and we're so excited to be partnering for such a very, very important initiative. And you know, look, you know, as we make our commitment to our guests, we try to deliver world-class service, thrills, everlasting memories, and we're dedicated to making a presence in our communities as well. Not only here in Gurnee and in Rockford, but really all over the country where we have parks. And we've been delivering on this in Gurnee for 45 years. Mayor Hood, made a comment. He's been coming since he was 16 years old. We opened this park in 1976, and I know some people will tell you in this area or even around the state this was the very first job they ever had or the first roller coaster they ever got on. And we're really proud of our history, but we really want to focus today on moving forward. And part of that, and enabling us to open and open fully, is for Illinois to be vaccinated. And it's an incredibly important initiative for us all over the country, but especially here in Illinois. And it's why we're making this commitment. Again, 50,000 free tickets that the state will be using in some of the ways that Governor Pritzker laid out. We're especially committed to making sure those tickets get into underserved communities and making sure people get vaccinated and be able to enjoy a visit to Six Flags Great America or Hurricane Harbor Rockford. You know, we're the thrill capital of the Midwest. We're a summer tradition throughout Illinois, and we want to just thank the state of Illinois, Governor Pritzker, Mayor Hood for their support, and we want to open the theme park fully as quickly as possible. Hopefully the bridge to Phase 5 will come soon, and sooner after that, Phase 5, where we can just be at 100% and ready to go. So thank you. Thanks, Governor Pritzker. Thanks, Mayor Hood. Thanks, all of you, for coming out to our beautiful theme park today. Our signature double-decker carousel behind me. We really are appreciative and really excited to partner with the state of Illinois on this initiative. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Hank. Great. Happy to take questions from members of the media.
Governor, do you plan on any more incentives? You heard the announcement from Governor DeWine yesterday in Ohio. And do you really think some, free Great America tickets are going to really move the needle in trying to get more people vaccinated?
I do. I think that there are people who, hearing that there's an incentive, knowing that it's easy to get vaccinated at a place like this or somewhere near where you live, those are things that there are an awful lot of people out there that just haven't had time, or they haven't had that extra little push to go get it done. And we're so far along. We have more than 60% of our adult population vaccinated. There are lots of people who are just on the fence a little bit, and this will push them, I think, in the right direction.
Are federal COVID relief funds going to pay for this, or is this a donation from the park, or how's this work?
It's a donation from the park, which is amazing, by the way. And I just want to once again say, very generously, the park has been just a terrific partner. They want to do the right thing, and not just here in Gurnee and here in Illinois, but all over the country. We're just the first for Six Flags, and very proud to be so.
How are the tickets going to be distributed? How do you apply? How does it
Yeah.
I can do my best. And to answer your question, absolutely. Especially for 12 to 15-year-olds, it is absolutely incentive to get to visit the park and a chance to just be able to get a vaccination and be able to do that for free. I am 100% confident this will motivate vaccinations. That's why we're doing it at the end of the day. And to answer your question, yeah, where we're going to distributing, our focus, and we're working with the governor's office now on the best community partners to distribute those tickets. And there are some, I think in the press release that goes out today, you'll see some examples of some of those places. But we want to make sure they're getting into the right hands in the right communities. The places that there is some vaccine reluctance, if you will, some resistance, I think is a better word. I'm not a doctor. Don't quote me on that. But I think when that resistance is there, that reluctance is there, that incentive to get it into underserved communities is the best place to do it. And there's some community partners, some mobile vaccine sites, some other places where we're going to be distributing those tickets.
People probably want to just show up during the summertime, but don't you need to have scheduled a...
You do. You do. So whether you have any kind of ticket, a free ticket, a season pass, a membership, or a single-day ticket, you do have to make reservations, and we're doing that because we have a controlled capacity right now based on the amusement park guidelines in the Phase 4 of the state of Illinois. So we don't want to overrun the park by any stretch of imagination. We have to maintain that capacity. So you do have to make a reservation in advance at sixflags.com, enter in a ticket number, and then you can make that reservation.
And I want to, I'll take a moment just to say and confirm the good news for Hank, which is that we'll be moving into the bridge phase starting tomorrow, May 14th, and hopefully 28 days later we'll be able to move into the Phase 5, which of course will be, open everything without capacity limits.
Since you're not using federal COVID relief funds, have you thought about doing something similar to DeWine, where there's a lottery or some type of financial incentive for people to go out and...
We're looking at an awful lot of ways to incentivize people, but we have so many institutions around that are willing to do things like what Six Flags is doing. So we're going to use our resources as wisely as we can and incentivize people as best we can.
Over 60% of people have gotten fully vaccinated. So the 40%, you guys know who that 40% is?
Well, of course, I mean, we have a pretty good idea. We know that communities of color, unfortunately, have been less likely to get vaccinated. We've tried to make it more available than ever before, but throughout the vaccination period that we've been in, and of course, there are people in rural communities where transportation is more difficult. So we've tried to move mobile vaccination units into those communities, as well as into more difficult neighborhoods across the state. So yeah, we're targeting as best we can everybody that we know, the communities and the groups that we think will be most likely to to need it most, to need the convenience of it most. There are some counties, I should just point out, Sarah, that where we set it up, we put it in the most high traffic areas, and people are reluctant to get it. I mean, lots and lots of people reluctant to get it, even when confronted with it right in front of them, making it easy as possible. So we're doing everything we can to sort of A, make it easier, but B, to educate people about how important it is to get vaccinated.
Say, is this a good match? I mean, given that 40%,
Yeah.
is this the best way to have an incentive?
Well, so I'd just remind you, I think what the surveys would show you, if you look nationally, and we have surveys here in Illinois very similar, that there's a group of people who say that they'll never get vaccinated, right? And that's good news is that number is, 14 to 17% of people who say won't get vaccinated. Then there are a variety of reasons why people choose that are, in the remaining percentage of the population. Some of that is it's very inconvenient. They work two jobs, they have kids to take care of. There's just not been any opportunity for them to go do it. Either they don't have the time, or it's too far away, or there's no mass transportation available to them. So we're trying to address what we see in the surveys. So that people will show up. This is an incentive that will allow families to do something. It's summer is here. Families want to get out and do something, may not be able to afford to do it here. Six Flags has made this affordable for people, and we've made the vaccinations, so available. They show up here. You can get vaccinated, get into the park with a free ticket.
Yesterday, you unveiled your $225 million program to test middle schoolers and high school with the saliva test. If our kids get vaccinated, do they still have to be subjected to donating a bodily fluid before they're allowed to go into their middle school?
I know you think it's subjecting. We're trying to save people's lives. We're trying to protect people. We want people who feel like they want to get tested to get tested. That includes teachers, administrators, the people who work in the cafeteria at schools. Obviously, if you've been vaccinated, you don't need to get tested. But I'm trying to point out that our goal here is not to subject people to anything. It's to save people's lives. So it'll be made available at schools across the state of Illinois. We've got, as 850 roughly school districts and 4,000 plus schools. And so we're going to, we're working with the school districts to figure out what works best for them and make those tests available to them.
And then can you explain the whole bridge phase and what happens during this bridge phase?
Yeah, sure. Basically, as you know, we've had percentage capacity limits across the state. They've increased. The capacity limits have increased over time. When we got to phase 4, it's about 50% for most things, and I'm not going to be able to give you each detailed piece, but it's mostly 50% in many of the crowded kind of locations, right? Retail or bars and restaurants and so on. This will increase for many of them to 60% for this next phase, but also weddings will increase in the number of people, much more than from 50 to 60%, other kinds of outdoor gatherings and so on. And then we'll be moving relatively shortly, 28 days, to phase 5.
Just real quick, bothering you again about House Bill 2789. If it gets to your desk, are you going to sign it?
I think there's still work being done on that bill. So the answer is we'll have to see how it turns out from the legislature. Yeah.
And then can you talk about the scores? I have a few questions for you about scores and bridge phase.
Yeah, I did want to talk about this, and I appreciate you raising it. So I'm happy to say that we worked with both the Sox and the Cubs and of course the city of Chicago as well, to make sure that at the next home games they'll create a section in each of those ballparks for those who've been vaccinated. It'll allow the higher capacity. The teams can fill all of those seats. And again, for those who've been vaccinated in those sections. And then, this not only allows the stadiums to increase capacity, but it also encourages people to get vaccinated because there'll be more seats available to them. And that to us is a big win-win. Fans will still need to wear masks because there'll be people in the ballpark who are not vaccinated still and people who are. But the stadium capacity, just to remind you, up to now, and again, Sarah, you asked about, what does it mean in each of these phases? Currently, 25%. As of going into the bridge phase, as I just described, we'll have the first home games will be as I described with vaccination sections that can be filled with people who've been vaccinated, and then it'll go to 60% capacity in the game after that first home game, next home game rather, and then of course in phase 5 no limits at all.
What's the proof that people are vaccinated?
People are obviously offering that when they come to the ballpark. They have the ability to say whether they're vaccinated, to show a vaccination card.
But I mean, what you've worked out with
The ballparks are making that decision for themselves, what they'd like to see, or how they'd like that to be proved to them. But there's no requirement on the part of the state or the city for a specific showing.
this is huge news. So the vaccinated people are not going to count for the capacity.
Right, in the current phase, that's right. As you know, we have 25% capacity. That's today, really, right? We'll be moving to 25% capacity plus everybody who's been vaccinated in the sections that they've been designated by the stadiums. And then in the bridge phase, after that first game, basically, after that first game home, they'll move to 60% capacity. And then phase 5, which is 28 days from tomorrow, they'll move to, full capacity.
It's also the case for amusement parks. We're at 25% now. In the bridge, it'll go to 60%, but there's no vaccination special. It's 25 to 60%.
And this is, as you know, there's a big difference, right? People are sitting next to each other in a stadium, and so we're being extra careful just to make sure that we don't see outbreaks. Thank you.